everyone, and as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Audible. For quite a while I've been looking at new ways to enjoy books, given that I've got quite a bit of a space issue at the minute, and in addition to that I've not been in the best financial situation for the past few months, so I haven't been able to afford the retail prices of books. Audible is an audiobook subscription service which is run by Amazon. So I decided to utilise the 30-day free trial that Audible offers, and I used my Kindle as my audiobook listening device. And in addition to that, I did some research as well to work out whether is Audible actually worth it or not. So I'm going to talk about the prices first. For $7.99 a month, you get one book a month. For $14.99 a month, you get 2 books. And for £69.99 a year, you get 12 books for the year. And for £109.99 a year, you get 24 books for the year. So I'm going to talk about the pros first. Straight away from the prices that I gave, you can see that this is a service that allows you to tailor your subscription to you personally. You're not stuck in a situation where you're paying a fixed price and you're either using too much or not enough. You can tailor it so that if you think that you are only going to be able to realistically listen to one audiobook a month, then you can go for the cheaper service which offers you that, rather than going for the 2 books a month one, for example, and only using one of those credits for a book. I'm going to clarify what I mean by the credits. Credits are what you are given in sort of exchange for paying the subscription fee. So for example, if you're on the 1 book a month, you get 1 credit a month which you can cash in for that particular audiobook, and it can be for any priced audiobook. It could be for something cheap, or it could be for something much more expensive, like for example a Harry Potter audiobook. In addition to that, through being an Audible member, you also get discounts on other audiobooks. So say for example you were on the cheaper subscription of only getting 1 book a month, and you use that and you wanted to buy another book for the same month, you do get quite a significant discount if you wanted to then go on and buy another audiobook, rather than waiting for the next month to roll around to get another credit. Which is another great thing about the way these credits work, is that if for whatever reason you don't have time to use that credit and you don't use it in the particular month, you don't lose that credit. You haven't wasted your money. That credit just passes over to the next month. So if for whatever reason you didn't listen to an audiobook that month and didn't cash your credit in, it moves on to the next month, so that when your subscription renews for that month, you then have 2 credits that you can use. And another great thing that I sort of mentioned in my previous point is, while the service is not free, it is considerably cheaper than the cost of a regular ebook. For example, I'm currently listening to A Dance with Dragons by George R.R. Martin, which was about £40, I think the price was for it, and I got it essentially for $7.99 because I used the cheaper subscription for it. So you are not in the slightest short of a selection. All of the newly released audiobooks are on there. Any of the big name kind of things that you would want to listen to, they're all on there. The great thing is that if for whatever reason you start listening to an audiobook, you get maybe 1 or 2 hours into it and decide you don't like it, you have not wasted your credit for the month. You can take that book back to Audible and exchange it for something else, and Audible will not question it. There is no list of criteria that you have to meet in order to exchange the book. They will simply, no questions asked, give you your credit so that you can exchange it for another book, so you don't feel like you have wasted your subscription on a book that you actually didn't enjoy. The 30-day free trial is such a good idea because it gives you the opportunity to try the service out without that straight up commitment of paying the money. You don't have to pay until the time that your trial would end, and if you decide that the service isn't for you, you can just cancel your subscription. And another great thing about that is, regardless of whether you cancel your trial or you cancel your subscription, you still get to keep the books. The books do not automatically disappear from your account or whatever device you're using to listen on just because you decided you don't want to use that service anymore. In a sense, you have paid for the audiobook, so it is yours. While you do need a Wi-Fi connection in order to download the books, You don't need a Wi-Fi connection to listen, so you can literally listen to your audiobook on the train, on a plane, whenever you're traveling anywhere where you're not going to have a Wi-Fi connection. That does not matter. The minute that you've downloaded your book to whatever device it is that you're using, you can listen to it without having to worry about using up data or being confined to when you have a Wi-Fi connection to use it. Alongside that, there is an Audible app which you can download onto your phone or your tablet, and it's incredibly well put together and it has that freedom for you to go places while you're using it. The app is great in the portable sense, however you can't use it to download books. You have to go through the Amazon website in order to download your book to whatever device it is you're using. That's all of the good stuff I have to talk about. Now on to the not so good stuff. Space is a very big issue when it comes to using this service. The app itself takes up quite a lot of space, and then the books in addition to that take up even more space. So for example, I can't use my phone to listen to audiobooks because I don't have enough file size on there, so I have to use my Kindle, which is much bigger, to take around with me because that has the space that I can use. As I've already mentioned, you can't download books directly through the app. You have to do it through the website, which is one of the kind of big flaws of using the app. Going back to what I said about credits, if you're on the $7.99 a month package, you only get 1 credit which you can exchange for 1 book. So use it wisely if you're on that package. You cannot split that credit. So for example, the new audiobook for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is narrated by Eddie Redmayne, is 1 hour and 20 minutes in total. That's how the length of the audiobook. And if you wanted to buy that, you are using your full credit. So once you've listened to that and you've used it on that particular book, you cannot use it on anything else, which is why the credits really do work better for something that is going to take a lot of time to listen to, like for example, A Dance with Dragons. So it is flawed in that point, in the sense of you can't split your credit between multiple books if they are smaller. You are confined to however many credits you've picked. So if you use that credit on Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, you can't listen to anything else. My final card is more on Amazon's side than it is the consumer side, and that is Apple and Amazon had audiobook exclusivity. So whatever audiobooks, for example Harry Potter, were on Apple and Amazon's audiobook services, you couldn't get them anywhere else. Those are the 2 places that you could get them. However, the contract surrounding that has changed, which means that they no longer get exclusivity to those particular audiobooks, which means it is possible that somewhere along the line in the future there are going to be more independent audiobook services opening that will maybe offer better deals than what Apple and Audible are already doing. But like I said, that is more of a concern for Amazon than it is as a consumer. To us, if that does happen, it's great because that's another pro, because it means that we will have more choice basically. So that's what I learned through doing my research on Audible. Personally, I have kept on with my subscription. I have not ended it after my trial and I am still using the service. So for me, I guess it works, but it really is down to you and whether you think that you will get the best out of this service. Like I said, you have the availability to use a 30-day free trial which you can cancel at any point to see if this service works for you. So, do you use Audible? Do you listen to audiobooks a lot? Are you thinking of using this service but you're still unsure? Let me know in the comments below and I will be back with a new video soon. Bye!